Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to Monday Marbling. Let me get some glasses so I can see if I can find this. I should have swept up all of the gravel and dirt that's on the garage floor before I set it up today. So, is it going to show me on the iPad? That is the big question. Oh, there it is. Look at there. Amazing. How long is it going to last is the question. Hi, Pat. How are you? All right. So as you can see, we're working in the garage today. I have out my big scarf tank. And I'm trying to knock off the extension cord. And we're going to be doing something fun in here. I haven't done this in a while. And I was going to show you the t-shirt that I marbled on Saturday, but I forgot to bring it out. So I'll post a photograph of it. I haven't even set up the water yet. It's been out here. I've been running around in the house. I was so tired yesterday. My whole weekend was just running. I was baking and not succeeding. I am doing well as also, Pat. I'm always better when I get home on Monday and it's time for marbling. But I baked on Saturday and realized that I always bake my cookies at 350. And I looked at the instructions and it said 375. I'm programmed to go check them. Hi, Shelly. At, the time it takes baking at 350. Well, every time I got there to look at it, they were just, I like mine a little underdone and I like them soft. And these were a little overdone and not burned, but close. And I could not figure out why. And so I just kept baking, going, what is the matter with me? And not a good baking day. And so it finally dawned on me, the recipe now calls for 475. Not 350, I mean, not 475, 375, not 350. That makes a big difference. So this girl's going back to cookies at 350. And then yesterday for Easter, I baked a ham and made homemade rolls like I always do. And on the first batch of rolls, my recipe calls for melted butter, a quarter cup of melted butter. So I melt a stick of butter, like I always do. And I'm putting all the ingredients in and I dump the whole melted stick of butter in there. So I'm just like, oh boy. I'm not good at baking last weekend, but they tasted good. They didn't brown for some reason, but they rose and they tasted just fine. So they just look a little blonde. But such is life, I guess. So I'm going to be working out of 2 different tanks tonight. Again, I have the scarf tank, my long scarf tank right here. And over here, I have the hat bin, which we're not doing a hat tonight, but that's what I use for everything. So let me get that filled. These bottles of water are heavy. And I need your suggestions for one project. My fabric that I marbled last week for the pink and white hat, the vibrant pink, that did not turn out. The black rinsed away. I know I have another bottle of black, but I don't know where it went. And so I'm going to have to mix a new black and see if it'll stay. In my great big tank that I had set up this weekend, that takes, wasn't even the full tank, and that was 6 bottles, 3-gallon bottles of water. So 18 gallons of water. And I have 2 in the scarf tank, and I'll put nearly 2 in the hat bin, and the rest will go in the scarf tank. I should have already had these poured, but I've been racing around since I got home. That's a downside. I like to be home on Mondays, because then I can just get ready, make sure I have everything. And the shirt, my sweatshirt, is far too warm for today. I've decided I'm going to make a new t-shirt to wear for when it gets hot this summer. It's always, when I do Saturday market, I start with a sweatshirt and then I take it off and I just have some plain colored shirts, but I think I'm going to get a white t-shirt and put my business name on it. Okay, ta-da! I didn't get out any newsprint. Ready to roll. Let me get a drink. How is everyone today? Did you have a wonderful Easter? Mine was great. The weekend was so busy. Between watching the racing, gosh, what else did I do? The baking that I did, the prep work to get ready for Saturday, getting the tank set up, emptying the tank, and all of that. I was just racing all weekend. And the weekend was over just that fast. Okay, let's get the bubbles out of this tank. That's not helping. I was at the Walmart and I found this fun denim hat. It's a faded denim hat. So I need your help. What color should I marble on here? Or not on the hat, but you know, I'm going to do this with an Idaho on it. And we all know what color I want to put on it, but trying to behave. So we have a minute before I do that. Oh, and I did remember one thing I forgot to bring out, but I'll go run and get it when it's time. But I still have bubbles. I need help deciding what colors to do. I don't know if I want to do blues on there because there's so much blue. I want something to contrast. So I will be looking for suggestions on that project. I do have I'm going to try some satin on that. See if I can get the bubbles out this time. Oh. That's pretty good. So now the first, I know, I thought of you too, Shelly. But I'm trying so hard. Oh, I forgot my paper towels. You know I can't marble without paper towels. Hold, please. Okay, I'm back. I have the requisite paper towel. All right, and I've got to move that bottle because I'm going to kick it the whole time. So, the first thing I'm going to marble is this little onesie. This is a 0 to 3 month size. So that's the first item. And I know what colors I need to marble because I have a bean box order. So we'll do that one first. And in order to do both sides, I have to do the whole tank, but I need to divide it up because I'm going to marble it on one side, pick it up, and put it down on the other side so I get both sides. Oh, I'm out of breath. And so I have to put a piece of newsprint in the center of the tank. So let me get you pointed down so you can see what I'm doing. This is a wider table than I'm used to, so. Sorry, I know my hand's in the way. And I know you're not going to see all of it. Let me see how far down I can go. So that's quite a bit. So the end of the tank is just probably 14 inches past where my hand is. And I usually put it on the end, but on this table, I had to put it on the side. So, okay, let's get started. Now I'm tripping over the trash can. It's always something. All right. Let's see, I want full sheets. Earlier today, I was trying to get some papers apart, and I could not get them to come apart. I was so disgusted. I thought, oh, I hope that doesn't bode well or poorly for tonight. So I'm trying to get it sucked up right to both edges of the tank to keep the paint confined to both areas. Oh. This is supposed to be charging. My phone is not doing well. Hold on, I've got to go around to the other side. It's already telling me low battery. Let me try it, turn it over. We'll see if that works. If I lose you, I apologize. It's plugged in. It should work fine. Okay, let's get going. Kicking buckets still. Kicking buckets. Okay. So did anyone do anything super fun for Easter? Do you have any little ones that got to color eggs or hunt for eggs or anything like that? It was just me and my husband And that was okay. I mean, I was so busy this weekend trying to get a lot done. So now I want the darker gray. I don't want a ton of this gray, but I do want, we have to push that burgundy so it looks, and I got a bubble. There we go. So it looks like burgundy and not pink. Okay, now the other end. Yeah, I was so excited. I made a form to do the t-shirt on this weekend. We've tried it before without a form, and it really doesn't work that fantastic. Because the sleeves, when you go to pick it up, the sleeves just kind of want to jiggle around. Come on. Hi, Tracy. How are you today? Happy Easter Monday. Now we're going to use the light gray. But see how pink that looks right now? Okay, and I brought out the droppers just for this reason. So let me get a dropper. Now if you watch those what look to be pink, it is a burgundy. If you watch those, they will get darker. Come on. I always get so many bubbles when I use the dropper. There must be a trick to it that I'm not aware of. I don't think I pull up enough paint as part of my problem. So let's put in a little bit more of the crimson. That means we'll need to put in some more gray. See, I really want it about this color once it's printed. I know this is a really bad view for you, and I'm sorry. It's just not easy to set up here in the garage, even though I love working out here. I don't have to worry about splashes or spills or drops of paint. I was working in the stone pattern this weekend, which is just tapping it on. Oops. All right. So now let's do a little bit more. Let's do just a little bit more of this darker gray. And then I'm going to come in with that light gray again. There's my dropper. I almost put the iPad out of my reach. Hi, Melissa. How are you? It's my friend Melissa Bickham of a Small Town Wreath Shop. Went blank for a minute going, oh my gosh, what's the name? Okay. So now I'm going to put in a little bit more white. because I still want to push that just a little bit more. Oh, that's not white. This is white. That was maroon or burgundy. The sample I did last week of these colors, it looked really good, but it dried so dark that I decided I wanted to have, you know, with all the gray and the burgundy on there, I wanted to have some white in this. All right, that looks pretty good. Let me move these colors aside. I'm just going to put this dropper over here because I may need it again. All right. And we have bubbles. Okay. There's really not a lot of crimson in here, and that does bother me, but the more I put in, the more gray and white I'm going to have to put in to push it. And if I start with it, like I sometimes do with red, then you don't see as much of it. So it's even less than what I have going on here now. Okay, there's one side. And I always, I have a bubble. I always comb my little t-shirts. Now I will go out of screen just a little bit here. Now if I want, oh, I couldn't. I was going to say I could do, you know, some splatters after I get this combed, but I'm afraid that it'll be pink looking. Once I do the Gelget, it really shows me where I probably should have put more. Of the burgundy. I wonder what would happen. Let's try it. I want a little bit more, so we're going to drop this on. Let's see if I can see any comments. This side particularly has less. Okay, but see what I mean? They look so, they pushed everything else together, but they look really fine. I mean, really pink. So I'm going to do a little bit of the light gray in each one. Let's do a little bit of white and then light gray. Now, if I were to keep going, at some point I would reach an instance where there was enough paint in here that the burgundy would not push out so far. I think if I have an issue marbling. It's the problem that I don't always get enough paint on the surface. So I'm going to do my best to get this to come out nice and vibrant. So now we'll use the gray. I knew I'd need that dropper again. Okay, there we go. Holy cow, look at that one. I think I got 2 in there. Just am trying to make sure that that's burgundy. In the big tank, it's super hard to decide what's enough paint. It feels like you just add paint and add paint and add paint. See, every drop I put in here is more gray, less burgundy. All right. We are going to say that is good. So I'm just going to move through here. Going to work those into the pattern. All the way down. And this is so small that I'll really be able to have a choice of where to put it. Still more gray. Okay, let me get my rinse bucket over here. I'm making sure that there's none of the little sleeves are all folded up or anything, making sure this is nice and flat up here at the shoulder. I can't decide if I want to snap all 3 snaps, which I think I do. Just to give it, you know, make sure it's nice and smooth on the back. All right. Oh, I forgot to comb it. Heaven's sake. We almost made a major catastrophe here. Up and over to the other side. let's see. I think I want to start from this end. And now I'm going to swirl through it just a little bit. And then we will see which side I want on the front and which on the back. No, I still have not made new tools. Gosh, I need like a whole nother weekend after my weekend so I can get those kind of things done. I'm just wiping these off. I was paying attention. Okay, let me put this over here. So I do just want to just a few. I mean, it's such a tiny piece that it doesn't need a whole lot. Yeah, I like that spot right there. I think I'm going to do the front down here and the back up here. So I'm holding it where there's no t-shirt. Oh, I know the lighting is bad. Can you even see it? It looks pretty good, I think. All right, so I'm gonna unsnap it and put it right in the rinse bucket. I do have to wrestle it off of the form. Oh, it's so cute. Let me run and get my tray, and I'll move the light over that direction and show you. Okay, hold on. I'm going to see if I can carefully move this without breaking my iPad. So there's a little more light. I'll put it up on the tray. Okay. Can you see it? Is that better? It looks just adorable. Let me get a baggie. Into the baggie it goes. Could you see it? I know the lighting in here is not great. And I only brought out one of the lights. Seems like no matter how many lights I have in here, it's just not good. Okay. Oh, there's that piece. I stress so badly when I have custom orders. All right, let me rinse this board because I have to use it again. And it has to be dry, so I'm going to rinse it, get all this paint off. I don't want this transferring. And then I have to dry it off, and then I'll let it sit for a while. I actually need to have a couple of these and have the shirts already, on and ready to go. That's like with the big t-shirt that I did. Actually, the t-shirt I did yesterday, when did I do it? Saturday, is an adult small. And I was just kind of trying to figure out how to do the frame for that. Because like I said, before I did one without. Okay, this definitely has to dry some more. Whoops, and there goes my glasses. Of course, face down onto the concrete. That's got to be good for them. So I'm just trying to wipe this down really well. Make sure there's no pockets of water anywhere caught in that tape. And I put the tape on there. This is cut out of like a rotary cutting mat. I got a very inexpensive one, well, the least expensive I could find at Walmart. And I cut that up. Okay, so, relax, Linda, relax. Oh, dang. Oh, I can still do it, I think, over here. On the sleeves, or, a little star or an initial. So this is just a little piece of cloth for that. So I think I'm going to put that down right here. I love how well that takes. I don't know which way to turn this so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, another baggie. So that is what I'm going to cut. I will fuse some fabric fuse stuff to the shape that I want. And I see this is going in and out today. I apologize. So, okay, I'm going to relax for a minute and clean this tank. Take some deep breaths as I work myself up. I think it's going to be a very, very, very cute package. Little bean box. Okay, let me grab some newsprint. Let's get this mess cleaned up. So now what color do I want for the hat? Oh, I still need to do. Ooh, okay. I need to do the fabric for the birch cloth that goes with this. So we'll do one more tray of this. And I'll try to work right here in the middle. Let me see if I can point that light down a little bit. It looks so very dark on the screen. And it's really not dark in here. I think this time what I'll do is I'll start with the burgundy. And then add some gray, and then maybe some burgundy, and then light gray and white. Let's try it that way. Just a little tiny edge up here that I didn't cover. And I see all of this. I probably should see if I can tear some more. Okay. See if I can pick that up. Okay. I just love creating these bean boxes. It's the custom colors that make my heart go, seize. And I love this color. It's very much my daughter's university colors. It's just that you know how it is with reds. Do they come out red or do they come out pink? Drag the whole thing. And it won't matter a whole lot if there's a little bit left in here because I am going to use the same colors. I just want to make sure that it doesn't, there's just not some random squiggle of color in a wrong place. Okay, I want to do it once more. And I just realized I do not have my apron on, so I'm wiping my hands on my pants. So I guess these will be my marbling sweatpants. Which is why I try not to wear nice clothes when I'm marbling. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now let me block off, I'll block off the ends so I can work right here in the middle. About here. Okay. And then we'll go about here. Now that should be more than enough. Let me measure. So I have this piece. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so now we are doing same colors. And this will be a freestyle. I always do a freestyle on my burp cloths. I try to use all of the different styles, well not all, but the primary ones that I do on the projects. And I always love to do the onesie with the combed pattern on it. And now I'm going to do a light gray. the dark gray, excuse me. And now I'm going to do another round of burgundy. Now white. And then the light gray, and then we'll see what we need. And then we have a bubble. Oh, I don't want to use the dropper. Come on. Come out, little droplets. It says no. So let me get the dropper again. All right, and I'm going to do some more burgundy. A little bit more gray. This is just a regular gray. And a little bit more of the light gray. Can you hear my shoes just going, crunching on the dirt that's on the floor of the garage? That's what you get when you have bad weather and you drag it all in from the roads. I was wiping this off and squeezed it and almost dripped it right on my shoe. I have been thinking it's about time to do some shoes. All right, so this will be freestyle. Oh, I wish you were all here with me working a tank. You could just go forever. Okay, let me get it. In the bucket. Now the burgundy wants to run right now on this piece. I'm I'm just letting it sit in there a minute. And into the bag it goes. All right. Let's get this cleaned up. Breathe, Linda, breathe. Okay, what are the suggestions for the piece for the denim hat? I made a really cool purple. Can you see that? It's really a pretty light. I took a darker purple, and I didn't bring it out, so I can't tell you which, but and added just some white to it and lightened it up. I was thinking maybe, so let me show you so you can think about it. You know, I showed you the sparkle that I had, and it dawned on me this last week that if I can do tumblers with glitter and epoxy, why can't I do wine glasses? So I've got it epoxied and glittered. And now this is another one. Do we want to use purple and yellow on this one? What do you think for this and for the hat? I'm thinking for the hat, we can use teal, bright pink, and yellow. And I may end up using that for the pink hat. I'm not sure. But I did bring out a fluorescent pink, a regular pink, a red that would probably show pink if I didn't do it right, a teal, and a light teal. Okay, so let me get this cleaned up. Any color suggestions? Now on this one we do have to go ahead and get the all of this out of here. Need to make sure it is nice and clean for the next round. All right, let's get this out. And the wine glasses from last week. We are going to revisit those. I did not like the way they looked. We'll go back to, I have a photo, but I keep forgetting to upload it. We'll go back and try the brown and teal that was suggested. All right, so let me clean this out. Let me get a paper towel. See the way that just grabs that edge? And I better move this before I knock it over. Okay, a little more newsprint. So there is some of the burgundy left in here. And that's okay. So I need to divide it up. Let's see if I can dry my hands. And the neck, I'm going to do another little baby t-shirt. And it is going to be this color palette. Oh, you can't tell. It's a fun, soft green, a yellow, and a light blue. And I think it's for a baby boy, so I think I'm going to add just a little bit of the light gray. The one that doesn't want to drip. Okay, so let me see if I can get this on the board. Feels nice and dry. It is kind of a wrestling match to get it on here. I'm getting better at it. I've done quite a few of these. I don't want to do it over the tank and show you, because if I drop it, then we're out of luck. Okay, there we go. See, I've got the top on. Just have to pull it down and snap it and get it all, make sure it's all uncurled and all of that. They like to really roll up here at the shoulders. Again, this one is a 3 to 6 months, so it doesn't have to stretch quite so far on the form. So let me get the centerpiece in. My daughter's friend is having her very first baby, little boy, in July, I think late June, early July. And so I thought I would do a bean box for her. Well, for him, but for her too. Because if you don't know what it is, it's a gift box that has the receiving blanket, a baby t-shirt, a snap t-shirt, little shoes, a receiving blanket, a burp cloth, and I have, depending on if it's a first child or, they already have a sibling, it's either mommy and daddy established, separately, established, in this case 2024, or chaos coordinator daddy 2024, or mommy 2024 for chaos, for if they already have children. So this is going to be a mommy daddy 2024. I even took this bottle in and opened the hole a little bit more this weekend. Still doesn't want to drop. I'm going through all of my bottles, and when I remix paint, I'm putting them in new, fresh bottles. Some of these bottles are pretty old. I'm sure there's dried paint in the tip. But I've been using this one a lot. There shouldn't be. So this is just to tone down the Easter eggy look of it. But I thought, I just want something nice and boyish, but not know, not dark. Okay, let's see if I can make a bigger mess. Okay, so white's in, gray's in. So now let's use the yellow, because I just like yellow. And I thought yellow and blue would be pretty for a little boy. And then I decided to mix that green. See, another one. I just opened all of these tips. I don't know what's the issue is. I'm running out of patience with them. It used to be they would drip really nicely and then until it needed like a breath, and if you sat it up and then started again. I wonder if I just need a bigger nail. I mean, look, it's not even dripping. All right, we'll see if we need to add some more of this. If it's going to be stubborn, I'm just going to close it up. Now we'll add the green. Let me give it a shake. See, this one wants to work. And now the blue. Actually, the yellow and green is going to be pretty, but I want some blue in there. Call me traditional. Oh, the blue doesn't want to float. Oh my goodness me. Has to be one, doesn't there? Yeah, I guess it is floating. It's just not as much as I'd like to. Let me add just a touch of water to it. Woo. Probably more than it needed. So I'd like some more blue than that. It is pretty though. And the more blue I put in, that's going to push the green. The green's just a little bit softer than I thought it was going to be. Hey, how's this look? I know I don't need, so again, this is going to be the little t-shirt, so I need to comb this pattern. I think that looks pretty good. But these will be the colors I use for all of the items in that bean box. And of course the yellow looks like it's the most prominent color. Let me get a paper towel. Okay. I'm glad I added the gray to this. I think next time I'll have to put in one of those big work lights standing up in here so you can see what I'm doing. See the colors. The crunching under my feet is driving me crazy. I will sweep the garage for next time. It's getting nice enough that I can marble outside, which is wonderful. Except my husband has to park his car outside. All right. Anybody get snow on Easter? I saw that some places were getting it. Definitely wasn't us. We had very high winds this weekend. Oh, I was so excited yesterday while I was cooking dinner. I finally got to see Top Gun Maverick. I've been wanting to see that since it came out. I finally got to watch it. I was so excited. All right, here we go. I was very happy that it was just as good as the first one, if not better. I don't know about better, but it was really good. Okay, there's that side. Now to the other end. So pretty. I almost think I should have started with the gray, but this is so pretty. Rain and hail. Ugh. We didn't get any rain. We just got wind. They say we're getting rain this week, though. I mean, and they say we could get thunderstorms this week. It's spring in Idaho. We could get just about anything. And if I miss your comments, I apologize. They don't stay up on my iPad. And I'm impressed my iPad is still working. And it looks like it just froze. So let me just do a few little swirls. I don't really need many. I just can't help but swirl through this because I think it makes it so pretty. Okay. So which side do I like better? I think I like this side. So this will be the front and this one will be the back this time. So let's do the back first. Again, I hold it where there's no t-shirt, the little leg hole here. Then I just let it float for a second on there. And I bend it and lay it down so I don't get any bubbles trapped under there. So now I cross so I can just bring it straight up and down over here. I can't tell if you can see the colors or not because it's my iPad is frozen. So let me rinse it and then I'll put it on the tray. I love the colors of this one. Hopefully she doesn't hate yellow because there's a lot of yellow. It's just standing out a lot more than I thought it would. It's a little brighter than I thought I had mixed it, but that's okay. For not having any peak in it, it looks pretty good. Speaking from a girl mom, everything had pink in it. Wrestling match. There we go. Now I got it. I'm just going to rinse this form off real quickly. I don't have another one that I'm doing tonight, but I want to get as much of that paint off. All right. Okay, let me get the tray. Where did I put it? Hello. Oh, here it is. I'm going to wipe it off real quick. Just in case there was a little bit of that other color on here. Oh, you know what I should do? Let me run and get scissors. Excuse me 1 minute. End of the table in there, there's those little floral frogs. Can you bring me a couple of those, please? Okay. I was going to I think this will be enough to do the little heart on the sleep sack. Yes, I did get sidetracked. Let me get that out now. Oh, it looks so pretty. All right, here comes the onesie. So can you see that one? Glare everywhere. I'm anxious to see how well the green shows when it's dry. Some of the colors show up much better once they're dry. Those little floral frogs in that tray at the end by the closet. Guys, I sent him to get the floral frogs. He didn't know what they were, and he was with me when I popped them. It's okay. He doesn't do this, right? Okay, so that's all for this tank. Let me clean this up, and then I'm going to move you over one table, and we'll do the wine glasses and the baby shoes. Now, he may or may not find them. I may have to run in and get them. I hear him coming back. Yes, I just needed two. We're doing two glasses, but that's fine. Thank you. there, I have those so when we do the glasses, they will be there. I will have to rinse that. I'm going to set them in my bandana tank since I'll put them back in the house on the metal tank after we're done so they can dry in there. So this will be fun doing this set. I will kind of rotate the colors. I think I will do maybe start with the blue and add not as much yellow on pieces because I still have the receiving blanket and when I cut the burp cloth for the other one, did I think about cutting the burp cloth for this one? Why, of course not. So I have to cut the both of those pieces and prep the shoes. Okay. Haven't done bean boxes in quite a while, so it's very, very fun. Well, the last, no, that was the quilt fabric. I was going to say the last bean box I did was right before I broke my leg, but that's not true. That was quilt fabric that I did. I did get an order for one right after I broke my leg and I couldn't do it. Okay, let me get that piece of fabric out of here that I just let sink. I've got one cloth that's already soaking wet. So this will be good enough for here. And then I'm going to take you on a trip around the table. And my iPad has completely turned off. I just tried to dump that, let's see, is this going to work? Let's see, I don't want to unplug the light. Okay. Here we go. Going on a field trip to the other table. Okay, sorry, jiggle, jiggle. Try not to trip over all of the cords. There's a beautiful view of the garbage can. I'll get you adjusted in 1 second. Okay, let me get you turned. See if I can bring that light around here. Okay. How is that? All right. So, do I have any suggestions for the hat fabric? This is kind of what I was thinking, and then I could use it for the denim hat or for the bright pink hat. But let's alleviate my stress, and let's do, dang it, still need to go in the house. I need to get some garbage bag or some bags to stuff in here. We're going to do these little sneakers next. I forgot to stuff them. That's one of the things I forgot to do. So let me be right back. So I'll show you what I do. These are just grocery bags. I know these things are tiny. So I just stuff them so it'll keep everything up and open when I'm printing. Okay, there we go. So this is the last project that I need to marble for the bean box, for the ordered custom bean box. And I have something gross in my tank. Okay, now we can get started. So I'm going to start with just the regular gray. And then we know we're going to put in now look at how that burgundy is not expanding as much in this tank as it did the other one. Now we'll do a little bit of white if I can find it. So we have just a little bit of the centers here that need to disperse a little bit. Okay, that looks good. And now I'm going to add a little bit of white. And I'm going to use a little bit of the light gray. I keep hoping this is going to work. Bubble. Okay. So that white needs to disperse. See how much slower it's dispersing in this small tank versus that big one. So I want just a little bit. Now look at here, the light gray is not, there we go. I thought it was sinking. Okay. Okay, that looks good. Where's my top? That looks really good. Where's my tool? We have another bubble. Okay, so we're going to freestyle the little shoes. I think I want one here and one over here, is what I'm thinking. always look so cute. Oh my goodness, they're adorable. Now I'm going to figure out where I'm going to set them down. Pull out the bags. And I have tape across the toe where it is all vinyl, and then I have tape around the sole. And I will take that off when they dry just a little bit. Oh, they're adorable. Okay, let me clean this up. I love doing those shoes. So I have the wine glasses and that one piece of fabric left. I just don't know what color to do the wine glasses. Let me wipe the edges. That red loves to hold the edges. The sneakers are adorable. And I cannot read any comments because it's pointed down and the iPad has stopped working. Stopped showing the live anyway. Okay, I know. Let's do this for the fabric. Red, teal, and then we will do pink, teal, and yellow for the glasses. How about that? Does that sound good? Oh wait, I have this purple. I was gonna do yellow and purple, wasn't I, for the, let's do white, yellow, and purple for the wine glasses. Do I want a teal with it? Let's just do the yellow and the purple and a white. So let's do the fabric first, and then we'll do the wine glasses. So the fabric I wanted, white. Okay, so I have to do the red first. And we know teal is a pusher. Look at that again. Frustrating. Teal is a pusher. A little bit of white. Trying to decide, let's put, I was just trying to make sure that that red pushes red. Let's see. I don't think this fits. It does not. So it will be freestyle. This is satin, just your standard bridal satin. Where's my... Okay, I'm going to leave it sit there for just a minute while I dry my hands and get a bag. Oh, stress, stress, stress. You know, I expect everything I do to be absolutely perfect, and I know full well that nothing is perfect. So I put the stress on myself. Okay, let's get this cleaned up and do the sparklies. Okay. Get all the colors out of the way. That red off the side. I don't want the red bleeding into this project. One more time with no stirring so I can get those bubbles out of here. All right. Breathing, breathing. I've been excited about this project before I even had the glitter on the glasses. It's like, why did I not think of this before? Okay, we're going to use the yellow because not very much. Then the pushy teal. And then the best one. Okay, maybe we need a few more drips of that. It didn't expand as much as I expected. See, the pink is even being well behaved and dripping when I ask it to drip. Oh, I really like that edge. So I'm going to do one here and one here. So let me get to the side. Knocking everything over. So I'm only going to go up to the black tape. You'll see the pink looks like it's running a little bit, but it just may be excess running off. There's a shot down inside. I don't know if you can see. Oh, they're pretty. Hey, and I just set them right. These are the floral frogs with paint all over them. See, they're just those little pins. And I just set the glasses or any of that glassware right up on those so it's not contacting a solid surface and doesn't mess up the design. Ooh, that's so pretty. Okay, hold on. Hi. So that's all I have tonight. That was quite a variety of items. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I had a blast. I wish I had like 50 more items, but it's going to take me a while to break all this down and get ready for work tomorrow. So I have to take off. And I thank you for being here. I am so appreciative for each one of you, whether you're new or you're here for me on a continual basis. Either way, thank you so much. And remember, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. It doesn't cost you anything, and it might just make their day. So take care, everyone. Love you all. Have a wonderful week. Goodbye.